Oh my god! Yay! You wanted a fake campaign. You expect chaos.
I didn't do anything. I would like to point this out. I just showed you a puppy. I just showed you a puppy. Ooh, real quick. I have one of the streams unmuted and I can hear myself, but I cannot hear anybody else.
Oh, good catch.
How's this?
Give me a second. There's a delay.
I'm getting the all clear from our audience.
Yeah, Twitch is fine.
Twitch good, cool. I'll pull up TikTok and ensure that that's still running. But do you know what? If Twitch is going good,
it's good we get them out of the way early.
Yes, I can hear it on YouTube, so I'm gonna assume that the TikTok is good.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Hi there. There was a technical glitch. I don't know what happened. It was my microphone apparently that wasn't being picked up. I muted and unmuted, and for some reason that fixed it. I'm technologically backwards, so I don't know why. All I was saying there was this absolute unit of words I can't... Oh, no, wait, we're an 18-plus channel. I can call you guys whatever the fuck I want. This absolute unit of reprobates. This unit of lovely, but stress-inducing people. They are finally a united front once more. It's good to have them all back. I was also just about to go into talking about our upcoming Dragon Age campaign. To remind you all, if you've never, ever heard of Dragon Age, that's cool. You should still check it out. It's a great game series. If you have heard of Dragon Age, I'm a massive lover of the TTRPG. Funnily enough, called Dragon Age. And I'm running a campaign of it, aiming to start in a couple of months' time. It is going to run concurrently with the timeline of Dragon Age Origins, the first game. Now, if you're not familiar with Dragon Age, it's absolutely fine. It is quite lore-heavy, very Tolkien-esque style lore, very wide. But to quote the Game Master's Guide, if you're looking for a game where elves ride on unicorns through forest glades with rainbows in the background, this is not the game for you. It is a dark fantasy game, and as such, dark themes will be present. People have to be aware of that. So themes including the likes of blood, gore, I'm not going to say self-harm because it's not technically self-harm, but it's along lines of self-mutilation. Because there is things like blood magic, and blood magic does involve spilling blood to use. So there can be quite heavy themes featured, as well as the themes of like religious dominance, the themes of oppression and such. Can be quite heavy. Here comes Astrid again. Hiya, baby. Thank you for my phone. Thank you. Can you close Daddy's door? Sure. Thank you, baby. Bye-bye. Yep, phone. Thank you. Can you close Daddy's door? Hold on. Excuse me a moment. Here you go. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'll get my door then. Sorry about that, folks. Where was I with that. Yes. So if you would like to apply, I'm going to post a link into our, I believe it's the Twitch chat that's attached to the Streamlabs. I'll also get round to posting a link to the application form in our YouTube chat as well. So if you would like to, you can apply. And it's not gonna have the same rules that I usually have for games I run. So players of mine, if you're watching, if you're already in a campaign with me, or you've played at my table before, I will not be putting new players in. I will not be looking at new players first before you guys, because it's a new system, so everybody's a new player. So if you're playing a campaign with me already, but you would still like to play, come and apply. It's going to be fun. I think that's the only housekeeping I've got right now. So moving on to a very condensed version. We've given Ash the lore notes, but we've not given a total recap. So guys, for the sake of our brain cell of the party, what the hell happened last session?
We decided not to go through the mirror gate because we were tired and we weren't ready for that kind of ish. So we decided to rest in the hot springs or help the 6 people downstairs and regroup later. We all came up with a bunch of strategies. Reverie found out trees that could help, that have like properties that can help people but are hard and dangerous to get because a lot of them are in spring. She also convinced Kieran that maybe he could actually be a king and like to believe in himself. Kesley's, Arya, and Elion kind of like talked strategy about like the vault, as well as like possible people to cast sending to kind of come in for like backup to like, you know, help out, if nothing else, to like at least stabilize the sick people. The ones Arya came up with were the Autumn Lord, Queen Titania, or Raziel, but hasn't been decided yet. And then we went into the vault with help from like initially Kelsey had the idea of using a what's it called, a soul gem or something like that?
Yes, it's a soul gem. It contains a portion of a person's soul. It does not have any free will. It does not have any ability to interact or touch things. It can only move and see. That's it.
Right. Which, you know, still curious how he got that. But we managed to like hold off on that because I believe it was Harry actually who said like, wait, can we actually just try to dispel magic? And with the help of some inspiration and stuff like that, we were able to make it because it was a level 9 spell on the door. So we just managed to get in, explore. We made a new friend named Atuma, the primordial embodiment of the heart of our world. And we got a whole ton of lore. And then we all kind of put our noodles together as best we could without you there to help. And realized, oh, this is bigger than just like hags trying to like cause a plague. And we got tricked into like opening the door. Honestly, at that moment, it was like all that could run in my head was that Seinfeld bit where it's like, all the high-tech security in the world doesn't work if you negate it, if you forget it's one design flaw. The door must be closed.
It was very reminiscent.
So we let him in. So we let him in, and we got him. Basically, is the embodiment of nothingness, and told us that like the 5 great worms and the 4 archfey who made Atuma basically like wrecked the grand cosmic plans, and while the big cosmic creator, who we do not know the identity of, wound up being very sentimental and fond of Atuma, it meant that the other plan that they were created for was null and void now, wasn't needed. So they literally became nothing, and now he's got a grudge against everything in existence on Atuma. And yeah, so he decided to let us live for now, but he was all like, I'll be back, and one of you in this room will sign the death warrant of not only millions, but also one of the other people in this room, which terrifies me, before you breathe your last breath. but hey, maybe that just means we'll die. One of us will die, but not permanently die. So that's a thing. But I'm still worried. So yeah, like it was scary. Arya cast sense emotions on the guy and literally felt nothing, and then he cast command on Elion and told him to feel, and basically he became like you described it as a tranquil from Dragon Age.
So he commanded Elion to feel, and basically made Elion feel everything he had felt, the entire grand overarching pride of having such a noble purpose, and then the absolute devastation and nothingness of having it ripped away. Like, completely ripped from you. And the way it was described is that Elion went completely blank-faced, showed no emotion, and had no register. And to touch on something Arya said there, that sense emotions did not work, but Arya and Elion both had protection from good and evil as well as detect good and evil active, and he did not trigger those either. So he is not an aberration, celestial, fae, elemental, fiend. He's nothing like that. I did eventually reveal that he is a homebrew creature type that I have created called a nothing. He is devoid of everything.
That was still really cool when you shut off the sound and all the background music when she cast Sense Emotions.
When Arya cast Sense Emotions, I'd shut off every single sound because there was nothing. Oh! The theatre nerd won out a little bit on that one.
Oh no, as a fellow theatre nerd, I loved that.
We ended the session with him turning and stepping into apparent nothingness and disappearing. But there was also an after credit scene. Can anybody remember the after credit?
I don't think it was an after credit scene.
Did I not?
You said you would save it.
Oh,
you said you would save it for when Ash was back.
Yes, I noted an after credit scene, but I didn't give it because Ash wasn't here. Okay.
Yeah, you said, not yet, I'm going to save it. But I didn't know there was an after credits. Ooh.
So, do you know what? I think I'm going to do something weird. I think I'm going to save the after credit scene for until you guys are done inside the cave. And then we'll trigger the after credit scene, okay? So, Sheila, again, I do not like to do piloting people's characters because I've done it before and then the characters have died and then I'm like, no, I've just got big ick about doing it. So Sheila has just been kind of, what I like to call silent pilot. Like, they're with the party, they're just observing. So given the information of everything you've done, of everything you've heard, is there anything you think Sheila would have asked, Sheila would have said, Sheila would have done in this particular moment, and I can retroactive bring it in? Obviously, I know you've missed 2 sessions, so that's a fair wee whack of information. So let's just go to upon meeting Noone. Things that have happened in the near immediate. Is there anything Sheila? Because he was very open about, being asked, being spoken to, and it was confirmed by Reverie and by Elion that he doesn't convey any sort of lies. He seems to be being incredibly brutally honest because he views you as being completely incapable of stopping him because he views you all as being less than him. So, is there anything that you would like to have asked, or anything you would like to have tried, any spells or whatnot? It's completely up to you.
Yeah, that's vibes, I relate.
Sheila's just like, I get it.
Less fan.
Sheila's like, I get it.
I don't like people. If I could kill everyone, I would too, don't worry.
Wow.
He did insult artists on the whole, though, and, Sheila is also a bard, though, too, so I think that's a factor to put in, just in case you wanted to play off that.
We're not the same. We're good.
Just putting it out there, in case you wanted.
You create music. I write on paper. We are not the same. Okay. Well, in that...
You play a fiddle. I command a room. We're on different levels.
It's a very interesting use of the class bard that Sheila does, in the sense of yes, I create.
I love it though.
But I create tension.
I love it. I love it though.
I create drama. Okay, so I guess in that sense, as he's turned and he's stepped away into this, he stepped into nothingness. All that's left is the silent trickle. That makes no sense. All that's left is the quiet trickle of the small lake of water here. The constant thumping of Atuma's heart. And you all. To confirm who is still here, we have obviously Reverie, Elion, Arya, Sheila. You've also got Kernan, Kesselis, and Vigilance is still active. Vigilance is Elion's black dog that can be summoned from the statue that he has. I think it's only popped out once before, but...
No, he's popped out twice.
He's been out twice.
Well, one of them was a 3-second conversation in my bedroom, so that doesn't really count.
No, I was thinking of the carriage ride on the way to Gateway.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
And then the second time was the Crooked House.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It,
Your
was out,
conversation
it
in
was
room.
out in the Crooked House, yes. So, we go to you guys now in the cave, having been confronted with the full ID, with the full intent of this person. What do you guys want to do from here? If anything. Reverie.
First and foremost, I'm holding Ellie in bridal style up in the air.
You are indeed.
And he did just tense and get weird in my arms.
That is also incredibly true.
But my hands are full. So I'm going to check his temperature, put my forehead to his forehead.
Okay.
And just how are you feeling?
Your head's on my head.
I'm checking your temperature.
I'm okay.
No nausea, upset stomach, muscle pain.
High anxiety.
I can't treat that at this exact second.
No,
I'm not saying your anxiety is not important. I'm just saying I have a ballroom full of people dying. So
not on the top of the list. No, I'm fine. He's just finicky.
okay.
It's very rare that magic is successfully cast on me, so it has pretty adverse effects sometimes.
Like you're allergic?
No, I'm not used to it because I'm normally quite talented at evading it.
Ah. Well, I guess you'll have to get hit a few more times with magic before you get the hang of it.
We will run into him more often.
Yay.
But I appreciate your concern.
Mhm.
Can you put me down, please?
Yeah.
Please.
I like air. I just kind of start hopping with him to get down my air steps.
Okay. Kesselis will lower the disc that he's got that everybody else is on to bring them down to the floor, which means I believe the only person up in the air right now is yourself, Arya. If you want to join the rest of the party, you are free to do so.
Arya's she's kind of like one arm hugging herself and kind of like the other hand kind of like messing with the fabric of her skirt. She's got this really far off look in her eye, but after a minute she kind of shakes herself and turns to Atuma, and even though she can't speak primordial, but she knows he understands common at least. She's like, will you be okay?
Atuma will turn their large. I mean, I say large. Their head itself is huge. Like they'll turn their huge head towards you and just nod. It's like a really, really big, enunciated nod. Again, with that sound that's like, it's like a small rock slide every time they move. The sound that it makes. But they do nod. But they have a. I think again to bear in mind that as far as, you know, grand cosmic beings or even like intensely powerful elementals, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, Atuma is less than 1,000 years old. By cosmic being scale, this is damn near an infant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they may have intense knowledge and stuff because they literally feel everything that's going on in the world. They are the living embodiment of the world. But when you take into account the age of worlds, I mean, planet Earth is billions of years old. And it's fairly infantile in comparison to a lot of other worlds that we know exist out there in the universe. So they're incredibly young, despite being able to understand and communicate and such. They are young. They are fairly infantile. So there's a lot of this sense of, you know, great innocence coming from them. So when they nod to you, it's the way that, like, you know, if a child falls and hurts their knee and you say, "Are you okay?" and they nod, but they'll still get that bottom lip pouted. Very much like that, Ash. Yes, well done. Thanks for the demonstration. But they're still very much, they're not pouting that lip just to be in this, just so you know. But there's very much that air of when they, you know, when they confirm that they are okay. There's that feeling of that very infantile innocence and wanting to put on a brave face.
Mm. Arya sees that and she flies up higher till she's like level with their forehead, and very much like how her Aunt Lorelai used to do for her when she was hurt either physically or emotionally by words or actions by people in courts, and she tried to put on a brave face. What to do to cheer her up, she is going to gently kiss Atuma's forehead, and even though it's not going to do much for more than a minute, it's something she can do. She would cast guidance on Atuma and say,
"Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll be here for you when we can. I'll try and come and visit too. Me and Reverie. Oh, I'm Arya, by the way. Arya, Reverie, Atuma, friends."
Okay, so when you do that and you make like a physical show of it, Atuma will bring both of their gargantuan hands together and make the exact same thing. But when they do it, it's like the sound of tectonic plates grinding together. This sounds like an earthquake without the quake, because they're literally rubbing stone, overlapping plates together as they do this. And they speak out the word in common, but it's very in the way of someone who understands a language but they don't speak it. So when he says it, it's like friends. Very much again, like I described before, when they speak, it's like the walls shake a little bit, like very big, booming, deep tones. And it's even worse when they speak in primordial. But with you doing that, I am going to make a wee roll on a table that I wrote up, I kid you not, about 3 hours ago. I think I'll go for it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not quite as thematic as I was going for, but it'll work. As he says the word friends, the kind of veins that he's got dappled along him of all these different kind of like geodes and crystalline structures and something, they will flash as if like a wave of light passes through them. And because of the different colours, it's a veritable rainbow of colours, even colours that, you know, you can't entirely name at this point in time. Like some of them just appear as like, you know, pale blues or bright whites because your eyes are not physically capable of, you know, breaking down the colours of them. But a cooling effect is going to come over you all. For the next 24 hours, you guys have resistance. Not resistance, sorry. You guys have advantage on saving throws against spells.
Ooh.
As they are going to give you a little boon. So I have a little boon table that I've wrote up for being around Atuma and making friends with Atuma. And if you make friends with him once per day, he can roll on a wee table. And it's a wee boon that he gives you. And it can be anything from advantage to extra hit points. It can be a whole multitude of things. The most severe one being extra damage on attacks and such. They all last for 24 hours, and you cannot benefit from the same one twice in a row.
Oh, sorry, quick note, because Ashley missed this last session. We all got a DM's D10 inspiration.
Yes, indeed. So you have a D10 that you can add to any roll, Ash. So my inspiration can be added to attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks. It can also be added to damage, all that kind of thing. So be aware of that.
Collecting them, I have 2 already.
That's cool. And unlike normal inspiration, my DM inspiration can stack because, you should. Oh my god, Ash! I thought that daisy you had in your ear was real, and then when you put your head down there, it kind of danced all over your hairline.
Oh!
I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't notice
The
that.
flower was moving by itself. Witchcraft.
No, it's just Reverie's Druidcraft.
That's it.
But yeah, Ariel feel that and just kind of hug their big forehead again and just like whisper, "I love you, Atuma." And she'll fly back down to her friends, feeling a bit better, but still kind of a bit quieter than normal, a little more introspective, and one hand is still kind of gripping at her patchwork.
Yeah. Alrighty. Is there anything that the other members of the party would like to do before taking your next steps from here, whether that's leaving or further exploring? No?
I want to rather unceremoniously kind of dump Elian on his feet.
Elion, Reverie has dumped you.
Damn. The first one ever.
We hope that you can remain friends.
No.
Absolutely not. Burn bridges, cut ties. Alrighty, so you guys don't want to explore further, so I'm assuming you guys are leaving. Going back up the long, long stairs, or as can be done at this point, you can point out to Kesselis that he can take somebody up to save the walk. Arya can fly, Reverie can shadowy step up there, Kesselis can do his floating disc and take everybody else back up to the top as well. So as
awesome.
So Elion, you coming onto the floating disc. Bear in mind, there's a floating invisible disc, like you cannot see the disc, so it just looks like you're just floating up, and there's a solid ground beneath you, and there isn't.
I will take the stairs.
I was gonna say I can also carry you again.
Nope. Kiernan, are you?
Kiernan looks at the stairs and is like, "Nah, I'm going on the magic weird floaty disc thing."
But we had something so special going on the first time.
We did, but that was when it was downhill.
Will it make you feel better if I carry you up?
Can you carry Kiernan? I love the idea of somebody Elion's height carrying someone Kiernan's height up these stairs.
Yeah, see, Reverie carrying
Hold on.
Kieran, I could believe, but
I can push, drag, or lift 450 pounds.
Fuck, you can carry Kiernan. Okay, cool. Kiernan, well, do you know what? I'll roll for it. Fuck it. I'll roll for it. Let's go for this.
actually your face is like, why is this boy carrying my boyfriend?
I rolled a 2. I'm sorry. He's going up on the disc.
Traitor.
Sheila, are you going up? Or do you want to? So to reiterate, it takes 10 minutes to walk up these stairs, and they're like yay wide, built onto the side of a wall, no railing. Sheila's like, no, I don't walk.
Not heels.
Sheila's going on the disc and still telling Kiernan to carry her. Like the absolute queen that we all know that she is. That's the only reason that Kiernan is ever going to become king, is because Sheila takes her rightful place as queen of some fucking something.
As she deserves.
As she truly fucking deserves.
Drugs him with her.
Just Kiernan's like, I don't want to be king, and Sheila's like, yeah, well, I want to be queen, so this is my way to do it, so fucking get the crown on, bitch.
We'll get matching sets.
Kieran's like, fine, but I want a wooden crown, and Sheila's like, no.
You could get gold that is designed to look like wood.
Listen, let's just fucking deal with, like, the rest of the session before we start crowning NPCs. Okay?
I'm not an NPC, thank you very much.
I was talking about Kieran, but you know what? Fair point. Sheila is definitely not an NPC. I almost felt like me, Bran, the DM, should have been going, I'm sorry, Sheila, I didn't mean it.
I was going to say, the legend of Sheila in this campaign is kind of becoming like Shaggy.
Oh my god, you're right.
Do you know what? I was like, obviously Kiernan has been kind of woven into the history of my world. You guys have made him like 10 times cooler than he was ever meant to be, by the way. But I think it's now like, I looked back on the history of the world and the myths and things that came about Kiernan, and I'm like, damn, man, like, his wife is massively going to overshadow him at one point. Like, just like completely overcast him.
That's why all the Ritalin boys have the red hair. They have to, like, stand out some way.
I guess what I should say more there is that that's very presumptive and obvious to say that Sheila will massively overcast over Kiernan, rather than just making the presumption.
At least he will have legendary hair.
All Willowwinds have the legendary red hair. It's in fact, I actually had to home mix a colour on Hero Forge, a hair colour called Willowwind, because of the vibrancy of the red hair. But anyway, you guys get back to the top of the vault. There was a very brief cursory glance given around here. I do just want to point that out when you guys got here to this particular part of the vault. Would you like to conduct a further look, or are you happy with just the perception that got you the knowledge that there is, like, you know, gold and jewels and stuff in here, but beyond that, nothing else stuck out?
I think maybe while Arya's, just because she's quieter than normal, she would kind of just take a look around, just trying to find some kind of distraction. So if anything pops out that's catches her eye or she's curious about. Okay. Mostly she's just looking for distraction, I think.
Okay, so in that case, what I'll say is, I'll let you make a perception check. The perception check is going to be significantly higher DC than the investigation, but because you've said that it's mostly for a distraction and not actually paying massive attention, that is what I'm going to say is. So you can roll me a perception check.
With disadvantage?
No, I'm not going to say with disadvantage. I'm just going to say standard perception check.
Could I spin having Vigilance case the room as having him make one? Because he can speak, he can just shout to me.
Do you know what? I'll give you that one. I'll give you that, actually. So Vigilance can make the investigation. Yeah. Arya can make the perception check.
Alright, so that was just a 12 total?
Nah, so you'll get very much the same thing. If you're only just, like, you know, poking about, you know, not really paying massive amounts of attention, just kind of nudging things and having a wee look here and there, you're not going to see a great massive amount.
Yeah, she's very in her head right now.
What was Vigilance's investigation?
14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on a 14, there are some items within this buried pile. What I would say is on a 14, they kind of stand out, but not in the sense of that they are massively different from the things surrounding them. More so they stand out because, like, amongst this pile of jewels and such, a ring or a necklace or a bracelet here and there is to be expected, but in such small quantity. Is there a reason? A lot of the jewels in here are raw and uncut, as if, like, you know, very much like Autumn's wealth comes from the jewels and such they take from mining the land. So, if there is such a height of wealth in these jewels, why so few bits of jewellery and such?
Yeah.
But vigilance won't get any more than that. Not in the sense of like, oh, that must be a ring of blah blah blah. It's more why one single ring in a giant pile of fortune?
I'll have him grab anything interesting and run over as we're walking. So if like one ring, I'll have him bring it over.
Understood. So, in that case, what he's going to run over to you with is... Okay, I guess in this sense what I'm going to say is he's going to run over with one thing and he's going to point out two other things. One thing that he's going to come over to you with is a helmet.
Oh.
It looks like it's maybe made of like bronze. It's got that kind of tarnished green to it. Not rust, because bronze doesn't rust. But you know that way, like when bronze gets aged and not taken care of, it just goes like that kind of green. Like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And he's also going to signal to you that there's other things he's going to declare to you that he also found what looks like a bracelet and a ring.
Yeah. Bring them over. Just in case. And then have him make a little pile and I'll just quickly detect magic them.
Okay. So, the helmet and the ring... I'd let you make the Arcana check to be more specific. So if you want to make the Arcana check, you can.
16.
So on a 16, you can determine two things. Or one of two things. One, both these items either used to be magic and no longer are. Or two, they were designed to be magic but were not completed.
Okay.
Could be one or the other with a 16. That's the closest you're going to get on that one. With also Elion's particular level of magical knowledge. It's not a massive amount of arcane knowledge. Because, you got your magic by, selling your soul. And writing about spell slots.
Would Kessler be able to?
Kessler might be able to if he's asked. When it comes to the bracer is magical.
Just a quick pass over the two that are like weird, like either incomplete or broken. Is there any like incomplete rune work? Like anything that would signal that it is not finished over broken?
You can make that investigation check.
With my modifier? 2.
You can't tell.
Sick. I will take one of my little pouches and I will tie it over Vigilance and have him carry them because I don't want to.
That's fine.
Can I tell with the one that is magical what school of magic it is? If any.
It does appear to be. Let me just double check on it for you. Okay, bear with me a moment, and I'll let you know once I just look up the particular area of magic of a certain thing.
Death. Necromancy.
That's
you wear this helmet, you instantly
necromancy.
die.
Not even necromancy. It's just death. You put it on, death. It's like it's like Parks and Rec. You wear the bracelet, death. You sniff the bracelet, straight to death. No, it's abjuration.
Oh, handy. Okay.
And to reiterate, it is a single bracer. It's not like a pair. It's one single bracer.
Okay. Yep, I'll fashion him a little saddlebag. Have him stay 10 feet ahead of me at all times, keep his eyes out, and we'll head up.
Okie dokie. You all make your way back outside the vault door, which was left wide open. Do you close the vault door?
Yes.
Okay, you close over the vault door, and again, like it was opened, Elion and Kernan work together, pulling the door back into place. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was Elion and Reverie, because we made the.
I think it was just Reverie.
It was just Reverie.
It was
She
just
kicked
Reverie.
it.
Elion made an attempt, but it didn't go. It was.
I do it again.
Reverie,
I jump.
do you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Reverie just goes, Kernan,
Wait up.
pull that bit down. Kernan pulls it down, and Reverie just does that thing that you do, that they do in like bank vaults, and just spins it once, and it just all locks up, tighter than a crab's buttocks. A veritable Fort Knox. From here, what would you guys like to do? Obviously, you know downstairs is still in relative turmoil, but you also know how to fix it. You know where to find the Elder, the Dragon's Blood, and the Upaz tree. You know that they're located within Spring. Reverie, I believe that you wrote down the locations of these trees.
Yes, I did. And
Fantastic.
Kieran, I think, also knows because I informed him of all of it.
Kernan does know the location of the trees, and he knows the particular areas the trees grow in. So the elder trees grow fairly easy to find on the kind of outskirts of the Springlands, and they can be used to fight the kind of initial fever symptoms of this plague that's being sent around. The Dragon's Blood trees are kind of harder to find. They grow. He does know there's a copse nearby his old home, which, as you guys will remember, was completely overgrown and taken control of by the hags. It's now essentially a swamp there. So the Dragon's Blood trees can be found by the old oak tree settlement. And then he confirmed that the Upaz trees were found right in the heart of the Springlands. The tree that he buried his axe in, which caused the massive psychic backlash that pushed everybody out of Spring, he confirmed was in fact a very old Upaz tree. The only other thing you would need is somebody that would know how to correctly harvest from them. Yes, Arya.
So I know we've got to try and get to those ingredients. And Cassius, you said you made a teleportation circle near Spring, so you can get us there, right? Or at least close.
Kesslis will nod and say, "I can get." There's a settlement that was founded by the Furbolgs outside of Spring. They have a teleportation circle there. I can take you there, but deeper inside Spring, the last people I know that were inside Spring, well, it was you.
Yeah. Well, that's at least going to be helpful, cut some time out. But I do think we should consider sending someone to see if they could come and help here. Again, time is of the essence. If they can't cure people, or at least they can maybe at least stabilize people, especially the leaders, the Primarchs and the Spring King, it's worth a shot. And Cass, you said that the necklace thing we got from Magda, actually, Sheila, you've got that in that creepy book too. You said we should try and get someone to destroy it or take care of it as soon as possible.
If it's
Last thing we need is more things
anything
like
like
this.
the soul gem that I hold, which it sounds like, it could be dangerous, especially if it gives the fraction of them more time, that more control, more capability than what this. And he's going to hold up the little soul gem. To reiterate again, the soul gem only holds so much of the soul that all they can do is, they're essentially like a familiar, but they have less capabilities. They can't fight, they can't deal damage in any way, they can't interact with anything, they can look. That's it. It just so happens they can also walk through walls.
Right. Well, I think maybe if, like I said, I know they're a wild card, but maybe we call Raziel, they're a healer, they can help stabilize people, and a seraphim would probably know what to do with something like that, and maybe even the book. I mean, that's what they do. They collect secrets and mysteries, knowledge that's kept safe from mortal eyes. It's like a hobby to them. 2 orcs, 1 club. It could be worth it. Because we need help. We need to buy ourselves more time so we can get these ingredients and bring it back here. What do you all think? Worth a shot?
Don't seeing it being of much harm. Be nice to have someone that is at least competent when it comes to medical treatment. His effectiveness I can't speak for, but
I'm going to
He's helped
slowly turn my head to look at Elian.
while we are gone,
Raziel knows medicine. They helped me when I was unconscious. I can vouch for them. And
Okay.
if Raziel can't help, we can call a few other people. I've got 3 sendings.
sure.
And after
Yeah.
the sendings are sent, what next?
I'm going down to go check on everyone again.
Okay, so Reverie, you're going downstairs to check on everybody. Elion, Sheila, what about yourselves? Is there anything that you guys would like to do in this particular moment? Sheila has nothing.
I will keep watch of the giant demonic arcane hag gate.
Okay, so you're going back upstairs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to make a roll on something. Kernan is going to go with you, but first off, he'll turn to you, Sheila. He'll take your hand, give it a squeeze, and just say, "I'm only going to watch. All right. Anything comes out of there, I promise, I'm not going in. I promise. Okay. Cross me heart, hope to die. Stick your heels in my eye."
Good, because if you die, I'll kill you.
If it makes you feel any better, I did save his life, so he is in good hands.
Not a good argument. Just go before I regret it.
Although the last time we were left in a room together, a bomb did explode.
He's gonna immediately grab you and be like
I'm gonna cast guidance on. Hang on, which one of them? Odds or evens for Elion? Harry call.
Odd.
3. I'm casting guidance on Elion.
Okay, cool. Kernan's still grabbing him and dragging him away before Keela? Before before Sheila kills him. So he'll drag it away and just be like, bye, I'll see y'all soon.
I'll stick with Sheila so she's got the stuff in her bag of holding.
Okay. I believe that Kesselis will probably stick with Reverie. So
2. Got it. Buddy system.
does everybody have their moving buddy? So what I'm going to do is, Sheila and Arya, is there anything that you guys want are intending on doing, or is it simply waiting for the next step? Is there anything you guys intend on doing? Anything in particular you want to focus on?
Right now I'm just thinking of how to phrase the sending in 25 words to Raziel.
Okay. Well, while you think on that, let me ask you quickly. Say worst case scenario, right? Raziel can't help, and the second person can't help. List me all 3 of the people you want to contact. Raziel first, obviously, yes.
Mm-hmm. The Autumn Lord, and
the
then
Autumn Lord.
Queen Titania.
And then Queen Titania. Okay, so levels of likelihood, levels of unlikelihood. Sorry, going up. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So while you think about how to word those, Sheila. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, fuck's sakes. Dee 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 dee. It would help if I had Sheila up.
I've heard that has been known to be fairly helpful. Much like I say,
Right?
much like I say at the beginning of every session where I forget my dice. I've heard that playing D&D is rather easier when you have dice.
Wisdom saving throw, you said.
Wisdom saving throw, yes please. Okay, 17. What is the spell casting DC for this motherfucker? Doesn't have one. You can cast the spell. Oh no, he does have it. I'm just blind. 17 you said, yeah?
Yeah.
So you do not take any damage. But you are going to hear this voice. It's not like a spooky woo voice. It's just a very, very plainly spoken voice. But a voice that, you know, evidently has purpose. It's not like a hello, like just randomly reaching out. There was definite intent behind it. As this biting voice is going to speak in your mind and say, we have business, you and I. I hear you currently hold a possession granted to you by 2 of my siblings, and you intend on coming for the others. I'd like to make you a proposition.
Listening.
They will send you an image of a place you're actually fairly familiar with, albeit a few hundred years ago. A village to the north, to the far north. It is a fair bit larger than when you last saw it, and it has massively improved from just these small wooden huts that it was before to being a fairly well designed town, I would call it now. One key feature that's there that gives away what this town is a large portal. The last time you seen it was when you were considering stepping through it into a vision of a frozen wasteland. You will also gain the image of the portal activating, and the sight of a huge silver clawed leg sticking through it, and then a pair of bright blue eyes, and it will say, I will be waiting.
Love the scale color.
I wish they were sassy, but they're not. I wish they could go, oh, thanks. But unfortunately they're not.
Dig it.
And with that, the crystal scale that you have is going to start giving off a slight musical note, like, you know, like almost like a tuning fork. And the bronze scale that you have is going to start to, like a really, really deep bass. It's less that you hear the note and more that you feel it. Is going to tremor. with that, what would is there any reaction from Sheila based on that?
Nope, no one saw anything.
Okie dokie. Then in that case, what I would like to do, if there's nothing else for you, Sheila? Nothing else you want to do at all?
Oh, good, thank you.
Okie dokie. Then I'm going to jump over to yourself, Arya.
Okay, I've got the one for Raziel at least. 25 words is a lot for a chatter. Not a lot for a chatterbox.
Yeah, it's when your character is very, very information based, it's quite difficult to get it in those little ones.
It's like trying to write a haiku or a sonnet.
Yes. By all means, so what's your first sending going to be?
Okay. Raziel, it's Arya. In Russett Falls. Found Necromancer's necklace and evil book. How to destroy. Many sick people too. Can you help? Please? Love you.
Raziel will answer, and Raziel will say to you, Arya, would love to help, but circumstances draw me to another place. Should this situation rectify itself, I'd be happy to help. Love you too. Boom! The boom is not part of the sending, by the way. That was just because I got bang on 25.
See, it's hard!
There's always a distinct pleasure when you do sending and get bang on 25 words. It's always a real great, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So Raziel is currently unavailable.
Okay. She does smile a little bit at being told love you too. She's not used to hearing that out of her at all, except from her aunt. So he wants to help, but they're busy somewhere else. If it gets rectified, they can come, but for now, no dice. Should I try? What do you think? Should I try Lady Titania next, or the Autumn Lord? Who do you think would be the most willing to help? I mean, the Autumn Lord, it's his people. He's probably been the most willing. He's got more vested interest. You're better with that stuff than I am. What do you think?
I believe that's to you, Sheila.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
I mean, you can try the Autumn King, but don't know how that's going to go, but might as well try.
I mean, do you think that the Autumn Lord might have the kind of magic that could help sustain people, or at least destroy those things from Magda? I mean, he is an archfey.
You'd hope so if he rules the land.
True, and we know he's nice, so he'd probably be the most likely to want to help.
I'm just thinking on, like, scale of having other shit to do. Tatiana might be busy.
Ooh. Tatiana. Titania.
Realistically, the name is interchangeable, so you could say Titania, you could say Titania, you could say Tatiana. She's referred to as all three. Interchangeable.
Just don't call her Titty Tanya.
Yeah, I would probably avoid that one.
That's a good point. Well, who do you think might be able to help us out? I mean, you know people from different courts, right? You know people of power? Do you think there's anyone who maybe we can call on? Any favors?
This
People-
type of magic is not my specialty. I don't quite know. I don't really interact with people that know this type of stuff.
I thought you interacted with everyone.
Not willingly.
Fair. All right.
Brennan, of the four seasonal archfey.
Yes.
No, wait. I thought of someone else who might be able to come.
who
Who?
actually he does medicine. He's a healer. Sarin.
So Sarin
Like,
did.
he does medicine, right?
Yep. So to be specific, he has shown that he knows some capability with healing magic.
Okay.
He's never outright stated that he is purely a healer.
Okay. Well, among the different archfey, are there any that like seem to like their magic could be more like aligned with healing? Can I make like a history check or something like that?
No, I would give you it for free. I would say this is fairly well known to anybody that calls the Feywilds their homeland. Based on what the seasons all stand for, the Spring Maiden would be the one who would be the most inclined towards healing magic, because spring is the season of rebirth, rejuvenation. But you've never met the Spring Maiden before, so you don't know what she's like.
No, we met all four of them at the beginning of when we were at the Summer Fire Festival, right?
Meeting and talking to for 30 seconds are two very different things. Bear in mind, you spoke to the Summer King for 30 seconds as well. Doesn't mean you knew he was an asshole.
True. The Autumn Lord, we at least know, is not an asshole.
The Autumn Lord you've spent like full on time with.
Okay.
So if you'd like to, you know of the Spring Maiden. You can send her. But your persuasion check that would have to be made would be at disadvantage because you don't really know how to sway her. Somebody being linked to one particular thing doesn't mean that they view it the same way as you. For instance, the way I always explain it is a devil is lawful evil, a celestial is lawful good, but a celestial can still find justification in burning down an entire village filled with innocent people, as long as it fits into their particular regime. Much in the same way that a devil might save you and all of your friends' lives because it falls in the parameters of their lawful duties. Good and evil is not so black and white. So just because she stands for rejuvenation and rebirth doesn't mean that she's all about just throwing that magic around willy-nilly. That would be up for you to, and bear in mind you've got to try and convey that in 25 words.
Yeah. I'm going to turn to Sheila again. Sheila, who do you think would be more worth trying to convince? The Autumn Lord, whose magic may not be necessarily all about healing, but we know better and has more of a vested interest in helping his people? Or reaching out to the Spring Maiden, who we really haven't met, but we know by reputation is kind and has healing magic, but we might not be able to convince as much. I mean, how would you, you're great with this sort of thing. Imagine if it was court, how would you convince an Archmage to come and help us?
I stick by whatever I said. You go for the Autumn King. He's more likely to be less busy.
I was about to say as well, Sheila being from the Autumn Courts and specifically having experience in the Autumn Fae Courts as well as the Material Courts, you know the Autumn Lord's a fairly kind of... He might not be able to help on every kind of scale, but he's the kind of like lead from the front kind of guy. You know, he's the kind of guy that if he ran a bar and somebody threw up, even though he's the manager, he'd still be putting on the gloves and grabbing the mop kind of thing. Like, you know, he might not be able to do the magic, but he'd still be like, you know, handing out water bottles and shit. Like, he's a helpful kind of person. So you know that at least, that he might not have all the answers, but he'd be willing to help. So you have that going for you, Arya, that the Autumn Lord may not have the answers to fix everything, but he'd at least be willing to lend a helping hand.
Okay, I'm going to take Sheila's advice then and cast a second sending to the Autumn Lord.
Alrighty.
Got to figure out 25 words. Let's go. Autumn Lord, it's Arya. Your people in Russett Falls are in great need of help. Terrible illness. We have way to help. Can you stabilize? I should have thought that one out a little bit. I was thinking on the fly.
The Autumn Lord is going to contact you, not using your sending, is going to contact you on an actual conversational capability that he's able to do as an enhanced being or deity or whatever you want to list him under. And he will say, I'm familiar with who you are. It's Arya, isn't it?
Yes?
Hello there.
Wait.
You say
Hi.
that you say that my people are. Oh, actually, wait. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I forgot something. Arya, before just briefly retcon what just happened there. I need you to roll me a D100 because you are sending ascending to another plane of existence.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Before you tell me what it is, I quickly need to roll odds or evens. Okay. What did you roll?
I rolled a 4 on this one, and then a 9 on this one.
Okay, so pick which one do you want to be the first number, which one do you want to be the second?
9 is the first one.
Okay, so you're going for a 94?
Yeah?
Okay. It goes through to the Autumn Lord, so nothing changes. Okay, so continuing on the conversation, you'll say, my people on the material plane, you mean?
Yes, in Russett Falls. There's a terrible plague, and the Primarchs themselves are unconscious, but my friends and I, we know a way to possibly help them, but time is running out, and if we can keep them stable, that will buy us some time to get the medicinal herbs we need to come back and save everyone, but we need help. We can't do this alone.
I don't have magic that falls in the realm of being that kind of capability in healing. How can I help? How else can I help?
Okay, well, if there's a way that you can, maybe if you can keep barriers up so that it doesn't spread to the rest of the Autumn folk. It's only in one specific region of Russett Falls. I managed to get the other commoners, everyone else from the city away so they're safe. And I know you're connected with the other archfays. I know the Spring Maiden is renowned for being very kind and also having healing magic. Perhaps you can talk with her. She might listen to you more than us.
The next
we
time,
want to help, we can't do it
alone. The next time
alone.
that I'm available to speak to her, I will. For now, I will do this. And the Autumn Lord is essentially going to the walls of the palace. To people outside of the palace, they would see the outer walls of it turn from that red stone into solid diamond. The diamond mines on the inside spreading to the outside and forming a huge, and even the parts of it that have been destroyed and broken it's almost like recalcification as the diamond spreads up where they once were, forming what they were at one point. And any doors or windows are completely sealed over, keeping everybody inside. And over the course of like the minute or so that takes to happen, he explains to you what he's doing. And he says nobody will be able to see inside, but you will be able to see out. The only people who will be able to leave are those who are not infected.
That's a big help.
If you need to leave, you'll have to find some way of magical means of getting out, but you'll be able to see, and I understand that most methods of you moving from one place to another are built around being able to see, so that is what I have done. The next time I see the Spring Maiden, I will speak to her, but right now things are taxing for us.
I understand. Thank you. You're a good person.
I only wish I could do more.
I understand. Thank you.
And then he will sever the connection between you both.
Oh, so Sheila heard that, so I don't have to repeat.
Sheila wouldn't have heard
me.
it because it was mental.
Oh, me, like, you both like him and Arya. Got you. Alright, I'll just fill in Sheila on all that and say, so I've got one more sending. I could either try Lady Titania, though I get the feeling that's going to be a lot harder, or I could try and contact my brother Saren. He knows some healing magic, and at the very least, he's very knowledgeable about a lot of things, so maybe he'd know how to destroy those evil knickknacks we got from Magda, because we definitely got to get that taken care of. The less stuff on our evil, time cookie, bad stuff to-do list, the better. What do you think?
I mean, I'm sure your brother's knowledgeable, but like, how good of a healer are we talking about? Like, what university did he go to for this? Did he do a 4-year? Did he do a master's? Did he do a doctorate?
I don't know. He left. He got exiled when I was still just a little kid. But I do know he has always been incredibly clever, and like he's the mage that. What was his position again, Brad? He was like a high mage, something in the school. He was like a teacher, and then like
He was a professor. That's it.
I thought he was like the mage initiator or something like that. Like the
No,
he was like, because I remember he was petitioning for like plants in winter.
Yes, he's petitioning for like the ability to investigate other ruins and stuff, but he's still just a normal professor. He's been officially accepted as a citizen of Winter. He is now a Winter Eladrin. But he's not like a special position or anything like that. He's just a teacher. He just happens to be very, very good at archaeology. To put it specifically, I not that I've given him a class or anything, so to speak, but I built him as closer towards like an order of scribes wizard, investigating how magic is made so that he knows how to fluctuate it and change it. He studies archaeology, like.
Got you. Okay, so maybe not Saren. Because I'm also trying to think who might be able to destroy that stuff for us. Let me think.
Remember, you don't have to use the sending just now. You can do it at a later point.
Alright. Well, we know Reverie strong. If we can find Lady Koljata's blessed warhammer, even if Lady Koljata herself can't swing it, maybe Reverie could, and we can at least break the necklace thing. I know Kess said that was important. We can figure out how to destroy that evil, vile, bad juju book later. But the less stuff that we have to worry about, the better. What do you think?
Just knowing the magical instruments that we have dealt with, I don't know if it'll be that easy, but we can try.
It's better than leaving them well enough alone, because the last time we did that with the book, kicked it to the side, thinking it'd be lost in the caverns that my brother set fire, no one find it, somehow Magda got it.
Yeah, but we did leave it where anyone could find it, versus now we have it in our possession at least.
True, but just it eked of evil, and I don't like the idea of hanging on to something like that for too long. I just got a gut feeling it's bad, and it needs to be destroyed or put somewhere where it can't hurt anyone. It's just a gut feeling. I know you don't really take those too much to heart, but
I mean, it is in another pocket dimension right now, so you shouldn't feel anything.
Can things access pocket dimensions besides us? I mean, in the bag of holding that we have currently? I don't know too much about that.
No, all good. It's locked in here, essentially. It's
All
really
right,
good on
well.
nights out. Like, people can't pickpocket you. It's like you
True.
can get your cell phone.
Just
Sorry,
to
you're
point
saying
out, things can get around there. You've heard of the Bagman.
That she does.
Not the Bagda again.
Not the
Bagda.
Bagda.
I don't know. I've heard rumors about this like weird this like weird hobo fellow sometimes like uses magic to pop in and out of like empty voids. So he just steals knickknacks. I don't know. I headed somewhere on the road.
Steals knickknacks, little tchotchkes, your face, just casual things you leave lying around. Yeah, but as far as you know, a bag of holding is a fairly secure and locked out place. For one, having one and attuning to it lets you know that it is a void. Like, so anything that needs to breathe that goes in there is not going to be alive for long because there's no oxygen. It is a vacuum. However, if you know somebody that doesn't need to breathe, they can go check it out if you're worried.
Yeah.
Or if something that I put in there does need to breathe.
Alright, well, we can at least try and get the mole later. Maybe someone knows where it is, but at least we've got some little bit of help. We know that the plague can't reach to everyone else outside of here, so that's at least something. And he said that he would try and contact the Spring Maiden as soon as he got in touch with her, so we might have some backup coming that way too. At least it's something. Yeah. And like you said, we've got that and the other stuff we collected so far in your bag of holding, so I'd cast Identify to figure out what exactly kind of ticking time bombs we got in there, but I kind of used up my juice for that particular spell earlier, so at the very least it's something.
Not good.
Okay. That was pretty incredible, though, finding about how Atuma was made, about the dragons, how home was made. I see why your family's been after this for so long. It's pretty inspiring.
I mean, it just makes you think about all the other things that could be out there.
Yeah. By the way, did you know that Atuma is actually just it's more than one continent? I saw on the Lord of Twilight's maps. There's multiple continents. There's been places that haven't been explored, places that have. Some places are not so good, but others are just like. And there's so many different kinds of races too. It's incredible. There's so much to explore. I can't believe it. Who knows what else could be out there? So many amazing things. Isn't that exciting?
Yes?
Oh my god! I'm so excited about all these things. Sheila, yeah, that's cool. But when do we get the good stuff?
But when did I get my throne?
Well, hey, if
Sheila's
they do actually,
entire life goal now, I will be queen.
well, hey, if they manage to convince Kiernan to actually become King of Spring,
Oh, I don't need a man. It's fine. I'll make it my own.
true. I would be
All
excited
right,
to
Mary
see Spring
Shelley,
again. It's
let's calm
incredible.
down.
You know what though? I wouldn't put it past Sheila though.
Kernan turns
We
down
never
the
said how Kernan got the throne.
Kernan turns down the throne. Sheila, well, now that that's out of the way, so where's my chair? Because if he's not taking it, I will.
Like, why is everyone assuming that Kernan gets the throne? Why are we not assuming that Sheila's queen and he's king consort? Just saying.
You know what? That's not a bad roundabout way of doing it.
Partially because it's spring, and while I believe Sheila can achieve total world
You
domination.
say that, but in the present timeline of the world of Atuma, the current king of the Wood Elves is a drow.
True, but in our timeline,
Oh, I just
in the past,
realized the
I feel
Willow
like
ones are
it'd
gonna
be a
get
little bit
inherit
more
some stuff
difficult.
from Sheila too.
Well, this was actually one of the things that I said that was quite funny about Sheila going the line of, oh, Kernan's interesting, was that before Sheila was even a character, the Willowins had a blessing from Autumn. That's like in the lore because of the present time. And that was before, and obviously, the Girl Squad was a campaign that was running before Sheila was ever a character. So it was just one of those things that, one of those like little happy accidents. Like,
I think
I thought it was
Sheila
quite
is the
interesting.
blessing. Let's be real. I mean, look at her.
Sheila is just as a blessing just by existing. All of these characters are blessings. But anyway, going from there, is there anything else that you guys would like to look into, focus on, or Arya, do you have a third person you'd like to contact, or do you want to sit on it for later?
I'm gonna sit on it for later, but I am gonna like see if I can find any like soldier, or like maybe I can find like, I know Reverie mentioned Logon's nanny, like see if maybe they know where Koljata keeps her maul, because we can grab that. And Reverie we know is strong as shit. Maybe she can smash the necklace thing. It's something to do. Arya's just trying to find ways to be useful and keep her mind off of the sad that came from feeling nothing and all the mixed feelings that come from that. She's trying to like, we have a job to do. She's trying to focus on how to be useful. Okay. Because if she sits too long with her feelings, she will cry.
Okay. So what I will say to you is that most of the guards and most of the soldiers are pretty busy. But you can find a kind of wandering kind of autumnal guard. You can tell by the armor they're wearing that they're one of the kind of higher guards of the place. They maybe guard like, you know, the upper floors rather than the kind of lower floors, wearing similar armor to the knight that you fought that was, you know, warped by pestilence. Their armor is quite thick, made of like stone plates.
Adamantium.
It could potentially be. It could potentially have veins of adamantium through it, but from what you can see of it right now, it is just like, you know, the thick stone plates that is denoted of the kind of higher guards of the palace. So as you kind of go over, he lifts up the visor on his helmet and goes, "Can I help you?"
Yes. This is going to sound strange, but we need to smash something with a very enchanted, blessed kind of thing. Do you know where Lady Koljata kept her blessed warhammer? It's actually important.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that there's I don't think that that hammer is going to be used by anybody for a good little while. But we do have a visiting forge master who might be able to give you more information. The hammer was damaged, you see, in all the kerfuffle. But it's currently being repaired.
Really?
Yes, it was. It's currently being repaired. There's a forge master who, you know, does these kind of things. So you could go speak to him if you like.
Do you know if they do like magic stuff forgery, or is it forging? Is it just like regular forging? Because apparently this thing can't be destroyed by regular means. It needs like magic. Like, how do you do magic?
Well, Koljata's
hammer. I'm not trying to drop a rock on it, and it split the rock.
Well, Koljata's hammer is magical. The Primarch's hammer is magical, so I'd assume that if anything's going to be able to do it or fix that, it'd be somebody who can use magic. So, again, as I say, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go, and he's going to gesture over towards kind of one of the walls that is kind of leaning inward on itself, but you can just see, like, you know, under it there's a door, and he's going to go, you'll have to be careful scooching under there, but once you scooch under, you'll see a doorway, and you'll see a staircase that goes right down, okay? It's going to lead you into like you'll see the dungeons. You'll see where where we have like the cells to lock people up and such. You're going to want to go to the end of that corridor, and there'll be a cell. Now in that cell there's a little there's well, it used to be a cell. It's not a cell anymore, but there's a door in the ground. It's like covered in stone, so it might be a little bit of an effort to lift. You're going to want to lift that up, and it'll show you another staircase. It'll go right down. If it gets really, really warm, you know you're going to the right place. And you'll find a forge in there.
Why would you keep a forge in a dungeon?
Well, if you go underground beneath a mountain, what do you get to?
Rock?
Go down and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to tell you this one thing, alright? If you see what looks like a liquid, which is glowing orange and yellow and red, don't touch it, it will melt your hand.
Yeah, I learned that from a forge fairy I met on the road. Thank you. Oh, actually, one more thing. Is there a place... I know you can't spare too much, but I think I need a bit of extra protection for where we're going to be going next. Do you happen to know if there's any sort of like medium-sized chain or scale mail lying around that I could sort of Commandeer?
I can tell you who'd be able to tell you about that kind of thing. The person in the forge who makes it.
Oh, right. Thank you. I very much appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have yourself a nice day now, or as nice as you can.
You too. Shall we? Cheetah?
Yeah, can do.
Okay, so if you guys are heading that way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you guys there and I'm going to jump to the others, okay? Reverie! Let's have a wee word with you. So, Reverie, you went to go and see the sick people. That sounds so harsh to say. Reverie, you went to try and be of more help to those who were infected by the plague.
Yep.
Kessler went with you. And as you guys step into that hall, Kessler is going to look at you, take a big breath, and then go, right, what can I do?
Okay. If you could go get me water, warm water, and cool and boiling, actually. Probably 3 buckets. That would be very helpful.
Okay, done. He is going to look around and he's going to cast Unseen Servant. And he's going to get the Unseen Servant to bring him over 3 buckets. And then he's just going to cast Create Water in all 3 of them. And he's going to try to get this in a way it's done without using too many spell slots. He'll gesture to one of them. And he'll cast Burning Hands. And he'll gesture to the other one, and he'll cast Ray of Frost. So you've got one lukewarm, sorry, not lukewarm, 1 room temperature, 1 warm, and 1 cold. Hey! How to use a wizard in a healing situation. Woo! That whole process takes him about a minute and a half. And he's going to look at you and be like, is that enough? Do you need more? I can make more. I can make more water if you want.
I think this should be okay for now. And I'm going to start growing herbs, like with Druidcraft.
Okay.
And start putting like different herbs in the different buckets.
Okay, so as you put your hands down into it, and you're lucky in the fact of that the stone floor has been cracked because of the bomb blast, so you can actually get your hands into like that. Despite it being quite an arid place, like most arid places, like deserts and stuff, if you can get down into the soil, like the silt and sand underneath them, usually there's a lot of moisture there. You can get your fingers really into that, thick red clay dirt that's underneath this, and they grow thick and heavy from the cracks that have been made in the floor. So the herbs that you're able to grow, is it things just to kind of stave off the effects of the plague?
It's to help treat some of the symptoms. So, she's going to be using garlic, ginger, rosemary, cayenne. That kind of stuff.
Okay, cool.
Just to help alleviate some of the symptoms.
All very, very easy things to get a hold of using that as well. So, absolutely fine. So you grow them out, and then you are
putting them in the buckets.
Putting them into the buckets. And is that to create like salves, or is that to create like water that would be drank?
It's water that would be drank.
Okay.
The warm bucket and the cool bucket are for like rags for people's faces.
All right, cool.
But the hot one is for drinking because it mixes better when it's hot.
Got it, no worries. And once they've been done, what are you doing with them then?
I'm gonna pick up all the buckets. kind of move a little closer to our first group of people. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna realize that we don't have a whole lot in terms of rags. So I'm just gonna reach into my bag and like I have an extra set of clothes and I just start ripping one of my tunics.
Okay.
To create them. And like my mess kit, I pull out my cup and just start tending to people.
Okay. Nothing else beyond that?
Not particularly.
Okay. I don't really see a point in making you roll anything for that, because I mean this is all stuff that's second nature to you. I mean, I guess at the very most I would say roll me a medicine check, but it's going to be for someone as good as yourself. Well, let me ask you this: you've got proficiency in medicine, right?
Yes.
Do you also have proficiency in herbalist tools? Or herbalism
yes,
kit? You do? Right, cool. Well,
I
what
do.
to do is roll your medicine check, but add your proficiency bonus again, as if you had expertise. Just for the sake of the roll.
Okay. That is
The look of a
31.
D&D player trying to do math in their head.
I think it's 31.
So what did you roll? And I think
I rolled 18 plus the double proficiency is plus 8
so that would be 26.
plus 7.
Did you use the DM inspiration?
Yes.
Right, okay. So 26 plus 7, that is... no, it's not 31, it's 33.
Oh.
You know, so you managed to scrape by. The DC for you was minimal. In fact, what I'm going to say to you is, because you know it was very minimal. You can take that. Well, do you know what? No, never mind. It's been used. It's done now. Yeah, very easily. You are immediately able to alleviate the worst of some of these symptoms. Not cure them, but like, you know, the fevers, they go down a bit. You're able to stave off the worst of the minor symptoms of this with these particular ones. On your way around, you are able to see that it is kind of moving quickly in progressing through stages. Several of the people who were simply showing fevers when you went into the vault are now beginning to cough up, and as they cough, like their coughs are speckled with blood, which you know is the secondary stage of this plague.
Since Cassilis is here with me, I just want to have it be known, like, while Reverie is working on these people and like alleviating as much of the symptoms as she can, she is kind of humming a lullaby.
Okay, would it be a lullaby he'd recognise, or?
That's up to you. It's a lullaby she got from her mom.
Then in that case, I would say no, because he was born and raised winter, so.
So she's kind of humming a lullaby, but when she is done with tending to everyone, she's going to move over to Kessler's and go, I'm running out of time.
So, what do you want to do?
Well, as of right now, we know where we can get something that is our best chance of healing these people.
So you want to leave as soon as possible, is what I'm hearing.
I would like to.
I'll go round everybody up.
It's progressing stages in hours.
Okay. When you go to Spring, I won't be going with you.
Why?
I'm going to stay behind here and try and help in ways that I can. There might be more people trapped upstairs, and I mean this in no offensive way, but it's a lot easier for me to move through these walls and fallen columns than it is for anybody else in here.
Reveille's gonna reach over and take Cassilius's hand. Okay. Okay.
If you'd prefer, I can come with you, but I'm just thinking about the realism of...
I don't want you to think we're leaving you behind again. That I'm leaving you behind.
I don't think that. I'm choosing to stay behind because I can be more help here. Stepping into spring, that's not my world, and it's not a world that I'm going to be familiar with. On top of the fact of that, I don't quite so like the idea of... And you can see it in him, it's very evident. He's still got some kind of issues with how he was locked in that that hallucination that those hags put up. Because remember, when you guys, when they all succumbed into it, he and Kiernan held on a little bit. That's how Kiernan taught him how to fight. But eventually they were caught by it, and he had to break free, and he had to leave without everybody, and you can tell that he's not entirely so gung-ho about charging back into that place.
I'm gonna squeeze his hand and just kind of nod. Okay. Don't get sick.
Oh, no, I won't. I don't think it's possible for me to. But yeah, I would.
Okay. If you can just, I guess, start collecting the others. If you're not coming, then I need to go sit in the spring.
I'll go see to it just now.
Thanks. And I'm going to head off to the spring.
Excuse me just a moment, folks.
No, we just got our wizard back. We just got our magic band back. Now he's splitting off.
It's fine. He's staying here. We're coming back here. I think
We are coming back.
I think maybe we can send a message to him when we need to be teleported out, and he can come bring us.
My thing is, what did he mean by he does the think it's possible to get sick? Because this man is allergic to everything. How is he not going to get sick? And I still don't know where he got the soul jet from. What has our boy been up to? Damn, I really thought I had something with Raziel, though.
Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was ringing my doorbell, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, why is somebody ringing my doorbell this time? Right. Whew. I stood up and sat down way too quick there, so now my brain's like, whoo. So, Reverie... As Kessily sleeves, you're heading to the hot springs, yeah?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. We'll touch on that when we come back from break, but I'm going to jump very quickly to Elion and Kiernan first before we revisit everybody, okay? So we'll leave you with you wandering, making your way towards the springs, okay? Elion, we're going to jump upstairs to where you and Kiernan are currently guarding the portal. The portal has not changed. It is still exactly as it was. That same weird, creepy, cold aura is still wafting off of it. It is... standing next to it, you can't help but feel just a little bit nauseous.
Kind of turn to him as we sit down. You had to deal with this, like, a lot?
He doesn't take his eyes off the portal. He's got this right. Usually, Kernan's kind of, easy ozy. He's never really quite, too serious. But this side, he's got his axe out. He's like kneading the the shaft of the axe, and he's just staring at this portal. He goes, "Dealt with what? What do you mean?"
The feeling.
Oh, the nausea. Yeah. And he gets this dead, 1,000-yard stare. He says, "Yeah, I remember this feeling."
Okay.
I don't like hags.
I say this with all due respect. You didn't have to come.
After what happened to my parents and after what they did to people, yeah, I did. The last time Willowwinds did anything with hags, people got hurt. Now that I've got that name back, I'm not going to let the Willowwind name be something that is used by them or stands by and lets them do what they want to.
Yeah. I remember telling Arya once that names have a lot of power. And I still think they do. But I do also think that they can be used for the right reasons. Although, nobody does. It's tricky coming from a family that's so different to you. You know?
I remember what my family were like before. And realising that all that was because of this persona that these hags gave them the ability to be like. We deserved to not have our name anymore, to be cast out, and I never used to believe in that whole idea of a name being so powerful, but since I got the name back, I don't want it to go back to meaning something bad.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I also realise that I'm kind of walking proof that a bad name can be made good.
Yeah. I mean, mine didn't, as far as I'm aware, carry much weight. So you're beating me in popularity.
You were born for much higher things than I am, I think. I mean, I'm just a guy who cuts down trees for a living, and even then, I don't really cut down trees anymore. Like, what do I do that's of use now? Except stand here and guard portals.
I was born to a soldier father who didn't acknowledge my existence, and a mother who went cold when he disappeared. You're doing a lot better than me.
Well, if you ask me,
So-
you're not doing too bad yourself.
I think you might be the only one that thinks that way.
And I'm as dumb as a sack of bricks, so if I can notice it. Here's the question I have.
Hmm.
What if something does come out of there right now? Like, do we fight it? Do we run? Do we jump out a window?
Well, you made a promise.
That's fair.
So I guess I fight it, you run.
Or I could just grab you and run.
I've been picked up enough for one day, I think.
Oh, who said anything about picking you up? I'm just talking about grabbing your ankle and dragging you.
Do you reckon if you run and you hold me at a certain angle, I can fight from behind?
Well, you could fashion some kind of backpack-like device where you're just strapped to my back.
Okay, I want to fight hags, not an audience for my dignity.
Elion, let's be 100% honest about this. You have no dignity.
Yeah. Traded it away for 4 strangers.
At least you got something out of it.
4 people that don't like me?
Okay, I gotta be honest, Sheila might not like you. But the rest of us do. And even then, Sheila takes a while to warm up.
See, Arya likes me, but Arya likes everybody, so I'm not counting that.
Reverie likes you.
She hasn't spoken to me much the last few days.
And that's how Reverie shows that she likes you. She doesn't bog you with her issues. She doesn't bog you with what's on her mind. If she loves you, she will bug you with it.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought the whole point of being positive with someone is that you do talk to them more often.
Not all the time. It is in fact a good sign that Sheila doesn't pay you much mind, because if Sheila hated you, she'd be tearing you down at every single step.
I have a feeling that they at least respect me.
I don't think Sheila even respects. Nah, that's. I was going to say that's just not. That's not. I don't think that Sheila is capable of disrespect in that way. If Sheila wanted to disrespect you, it would be like a public disrespect.
Ooh.
I think Sheila's probably just very cautious of you. Then again, I say that. Apparently, like, you know, she really likes me. And even then, I don't get a lot. So Sheila's just a very unique person. I can tell you direct, I like you. You're a bit of an arse, but then everybody's a bit of an arse. I know Kessilis likes you. He talks about you constantly. He's rather impressed with you.
We can settle down on the compliments, please.
Oh, I'm not complimenting you, I'm just talking facts.
Okay, good. I thought for a second there you were getting chummy with me.
Oh, we're already friends. I don't need to get chummy with you. But being a friend means that you have to be able to tell the truth to somebody. And you're worrying so much about people liking you, or talking a lot about people liking you. Not going to mean a whole load of shit unless you like yourself. Which I don't think you do.
Does anybody truly like themselves?
I fucking love myself. Have you met me? I'm a grand crack.
Yeah, but you're from Spring, you know?
And?
Like, the bar's low.
Listen, any more talk about bars being low in my homeland and I'll take the bar and smack you over the fucking head with it.
Oh.
Learn to like yourself, and eventually when you like yourself, other people will start liking you. You also have to learn how to chill the fuck out once in a while.
Yeah. When do we have time?
That's a fair point, actually. Right, I was delivering wood to a little settlement in the fucking arse end of nowhere in summer, and somehow now I'm engrossed in some giant plan for seasonal domination. I do not think this is fair. The only break I got was for 600 years, and even then it was trapped in a mass hallucination.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if I want to hallucinate, I would like to do it recreationally. Do you know the last time I washed my hair? It was a long time ago. My hair is starting to look adequate. And my best feature is my hair. Real talk though, what are we going to do about this? This no one. I mean, you felt that, right? Like, you felt the emptiness there. How do you fight something that has nothing to lose?
Speaking from recent experience, carefully. People with nothing left are dangerously risky. Which is weird because he seems very calculating, so I don't know what his angle is. It's like his purpose is to not have purpose. It's very strange. But I don't suppose hoping he goes away is an option. And knowing the way everything's been going, no one else, despite the fact we live in divine worlds of beings, will be able to do anything. And our group of 7 fucktards will have to deal with it. At which case, I think we all die a tragic, heroic death, and the one of 17 people left on the planet sings bar songs of ancient old.
You know, for a summer fella, you've got away with words. Elion, is there anything you would like to do or say while you're up here?
I will turn to him after probably about an hour.
Okay.
Can I ask you a piece of advice?
He will laugh at that and go, I don't really have the brain for giving out massive advice, but I'll do my best.
I have more bad news than I need to present that I haven't. And I don't know how to approach that.
Do you mean that there's things that are bad that you haven't told us?
Yeah.
Is it a bad that will affect everybody, or just a bad that will affect you?
I don't know.
Then in that case, you should tell everybody.
It's directed to a single individual.
Is that single individual one of us, or is it you?
It is one of you.
Oh.
Not to name names.
Well, I mean, in that case, I guess I would tell the person it's directed at. And then see
Hey, what if the person it's directed at isn't you or Kessler's, and they're not fond of me?
Do you mean it's Sheila?
No.
Oh. Is it Reverie?
Yeah. I may or may not. How aware of you? I was quite open about the fact that my job was to uncover information on your little motley crew.
Yep.
I do my job very well. Hence why I'm in the was in the employment of someone largely very powerful. I got cut off because I gave him all the information I had.
When he was done
And
with you, he cast you aside.
You know that part. But I have had tidbits of each of you that have been relayed. And the conversation when he cut me off. The day before, I witnessed a conversation between Reverie and her patron.
Oh.
They spoke about an object in the Summer Lord's possession that her gift giver wanted to return. And I told him what it was and who wanted it.
What was it?
If I remember correctly, it was a mirror.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I think you should tell Reverie that. Because if they decide to go after that, they could be walking into a trap.
Yeah. It's just things aren't looking good now, and then I'm adding more, you know? It's like adding more torches to a bonfire, you know? Especially when the information is, hey, I know you're very sensitive and you have a lot of faith in the person that gives you your gifts. I effectively snuck around and spied on the entire conversation that was meant to be private and told your main arch nemesis of said patron.
Right, but here's the thing with that, Elion. We already knew you were sneaking around and finding this information. Okay, that's not new news, alright? All this is doing is you remembering, oh shit, I forgot I said this to that person.
Right.
Look, if we wanted to hang and quarter you for the fact that you were sneaking around, we'd have done it already. Because we knew that that's what you did.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, I see this as your chance at redemption. Not only could you tell them what they might be walking into, you can be actively helping them get it back. This Summer King fella, Archfey, Archlord, whatever the hell you want to call him, you spent a lot of time with him. So you know him. You know how he works.
To a degree.
Who better to help get it back? At least that's the way I look at it. Maybe I'm just being stupid. That's quite potentially a fact, because, you know, I am a bit stupid.
So what you're saying is I should vacate the group, sneak into the Summer Palace, and be like, hey, I got a thing for you.
Maybe not so much sneak away from the group.
I'm joking.
But what if it wasn't sneaking away from the group and it was helping a friend find a thing?
Okay.
I'm not saying that you should lie. You shouldn't. But there's walking up to Reverie and going, hey, by the way, when I spied on you, I told this information. Now it could make this harder. They're saying, hey, you know that I gave information to this person who I was working for. I've just thought on the information I gave, and I see how it could affect this particular situation. You're still telling the truth both ways. One's just worded in a way that doesn't make you as much of an arsehole.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about how to lie, it's about how better to present the truth.
Okay. And then I will spend the rest of the watch in silence until someone comes and gets me.
Okay. Then I'd say on that note, with them ending that conversation, we'll take our break there. And when we come back, we will go into the... Yeah, when we come back, we'll have about an hour left. And we'll go into everybody doing the secondary parts of what they wanted to do. Alright?
Mm-hmm. I think you also have a cutscene too.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a good time to bring that in, actually. Okay, cool. Let me get my note from last week. Alrighty, thank you for reminding me of that. As we go into our break, we're going to take a little hop, skip, and a jump back through time to when you guys were speaking to no one. And as they step into nothingness, when they step out of it, they're deep underground. It is pitch black, but that is of no consequence to them. And they walk through a mess of... Oh god, I always forget which ones are the ones that come down. Is it stalactites come down? Stalagmites?
Stalagmites.
Mites down.
Mites down.
Heights,
Stalagmites, and gnarled roots of plants from above, as well as large fungal swarms. They march through this darkness until they come to what looks like a large stone... I'm not going to say building, but I would say construction. They run their hand along the inside, almost tenderly. And around this, there are 5 gemstones. Deep black at this point, but inside just the slightest silhouette of humanoid figures. One of these gems is destroyed. It looks as if something has been removed from the inside of it. More succinctly, it looks like something forced its way out. But these other 4, he looks at them all and he says, soon. Soon, we will have purpose again. And then he turns and leaves, making his way back into a pool of nothingness, presumably to carry on with the next phase of his plan. Now we're going to go to our 15-minute break.
Oh!
Don't go anywhere, folks. We will see you after our break.
He fought his way out!
Hello there, folks, and welcome back to part 2 of our little session today. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritties of it, shall we? We jumped away as we're going into everybody's kind of secondary activities for the night. So, what I want to start with, I want to go actually kind of like in kind of in an opposite way. Because Arya and Sheila are about to step into something fairly big. An introduction that was planned to go a different way, but this is how it's going to go now. So I'm going to go first to Reverie. Reverie, you make your way to the springs, right? In the springs there are 2 other people. One that you... Would you recognise? No, you won't. So, both of them you will not recognise, okay? One of these people is a... Sorry, my mind just went blank there and did a whole poof. Did a wee bloop bloop. Didn't work. One of them is an Atuma ladron. They are sitting fairly blank. Like, you know, they've got a fairly blank expression on their face. They look at they're in kind of one of the shallower pools. They've got their knees pulled right up and their arms kind of resting on their knees. You know that way, like, you know, when people in like movies, when you want to convey that somebody's feeling really sad, you put them in a shower and have them sit hugging their knees. Sitting like that. One of their horns, you can see, is broken. And they have a fairly nasty but repairing wound on their head. Presumably they were struck with something. On the other side of it, you've got an Eladrin there, but they don't look like they're spring or autumn. They've got the very trademark silvery white hair of a winter Eladrin. And she's got that very telltale darting backwards and forwards look that Kessler's gets when he's putting bits of information together, like when his eyes dart back and forth as he's reading through it in his mind. She has that look about her. What would you like to do, if anything?
Well, I'll get ready to enter the water. Take off my armor and stuff. And then, can I slowly approach the Autumn Eladrin?
You certainly can.
Yeah, just very slow, hands up. And I come in peace.
As you walk towards it, hands up, I come in peace. They kind of see you approaching, like... They give you just like a kind of, like, you know, gesture of like, oh, right, okay. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I will kind of perch next to them on the edge of the water, but not quite in it yet.
Uh-huh.
Does your head injury hurt?
They put their hand up, touch their head and go, no, I'm alright, thanks.
Would you like for me to take care of it?
It's up to you. I mean, that's why I'm here, to get, you know, all that magic-y healed up part in it.
Reverie will kind of reach out and very, like, featherlight kind of run her hand over the wound and cast Cure Wounds.
You cast Cure Wounds. The wound heals up damn near instantaneously at your touch. how, I mean, hit points isn't really going to be a major thing, but just for the sake of the roll, how many hit points does he get back on it?
I just have to check what my addition is. Nine.
9 back?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all. Okay. He'll look to you and give you a kind of like appreciative nod. Are you?
She will give.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say she'll give a very soft smile back.
I'm guessing you're one of the healing lot out there, then.
That would be an accurate guess. Yes.
You got your work cut out for you.
I'm aware. I've seen this sickness before.
Where you saw it last, did they survive?
Not many. But things are a little different now. So I'm hoping for a better outcome.
My brother's got it.
Is that what has you so worried?
Well, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, it is. I'm not used to fighting things that I can't fight with my fists.
I can understand that. I can't promise your brother will be fine. But I can promise I'm doing everything in and beyond my power to make sure as many people walk out of that room as possible.
Any help you give will be appreciated.
I know it might not be much consolation, but when my town fought this plague, I got very familiar with death. And I hated it. I hated things and the people I cared about being taken from me. And I still hate it in that aspect. But I've come to learn in more recent years that it can be a gift when people are sick like that. Because they're not in pain, and it can be selfish to hold them in pain for a long time.
I'm no stranger to death. I just didn't expect that death to be getting a hold of me when I was here. You know, it was supposed to be an easy, safe job.
Unfortunately, my friend, I think it can get a hold of you anyway. Just in different ways. But with any luck and hopefully a lot of luck, more people will be walking out of that room. So,
He kind of goes a little bit somber at that point, before putting his hand out to you and offering like to shake. He'll say, "You speak a lot of wise words, friend. What's your name?"
I'm Reverie. What's yours?
Kikiero, but everybody calls me Kick.
Thank you. I like that. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What brings you to our lovely home?
The Primarch Logan is my friend.
Seems like we have something in common.
You're friends with Logan as well?
Fairly decent friends. By all account, I'm about to become his brother.
Oh, so you're Kojata's brother.
Kojata's my elder sister.
It's very lovely to meet you then. Kojata's a force of nature.
That's one way to describe her. She takes after our dad, though.
I had to kind of yell at her to get her to listen to me.
I could understand that. She's quite hard-headed.
Yeah, she broke her leg and then kept trying to walk on it, and I was like, "You'll never walk again if you try that." So I had to carry her around.
Again, that sounds exactly like her. I haven't really had the chance to tell her. I mean, obviously I can't tell her right now because she's obviously... Oh, it takes realising how sick everybody is around you to realise that, you know, without them, you're a little bit alone, doesn't it?
Yes. My mother was a doctor, and a very good one. And she died from this. And my house never really felt the same.
I'm not, by any way, shape or form, smart enough to, you know, think of how to get over things like this. But if you've seen this before, do you have an idea how to fix it?
I do. But it's dangerous. So I've actually come here to get as much rest as I can before I have to go and collect everything to hopefully stop it.
Well, if you have need of extra hands, let me know. I'm not exactly used to sitting around doing nothing when people are needing help.
Well, how good how good are you at harvesting trees or fighting?
Harvesting trees? I'm definitely much worse at that than I am at fighting.
Well, I have need of both. We're going to spring.
Well, I taught Kojata how to fight, so I'd be happy to. I mean, I'm not magic or anything. I can't, like, you know, wiggle my fingers and make, like, you know, rocks fall out the sky or nothing, but
That's
I've got an
okay.
incredibly large mace.
That works perfectly, in fact.
Sheila, get your mind out the gutter. You have seen that face.
That works perfectly. I have a very large hammer. I had a very large hammer.
I have a spare you can have if you want it.
That would actually be very nice. I did take one from one of the sick soldiers, and I felt really bad about it. So I would like to return that as soon as possible.
Well, you're a friend of Logon, right?
Yes.
He's definitely not one for waving around Amas, and well, I was going to give it to him as a wedding gift, but I could always give it to you instead.
I would appreciate that.
It's upstairs in the family vault, so I'll go get it for you. And he gets up, and as he gets up, he is to Autumn Eladrin what Kernoon is to Spring Eladrin. This man is like, as he stands up, this is like Eddie Hall. Like, tall. He looks like this guy. I'm trying to think without like massive comparatives. If Kernoon is the hound, this guy is the mountain. Real big, real broad, and as he gets up, it's very evident he's seen combat before. You can see, like, scars and stuff all over. As I've said before, Autumn Eladrin, unlike other Eladrin, they don't hide scars. They view them as, like, point of pride. In fact, Autumn Eladrin are known to, if they have, like, a big gaping scar from, like, battle, they will actively tattoo around it in order to draw attention to it. So he stands up and he goes, I'll bring it down here to you, alright? You stay here and I'll find you.
Okay.
And he'll make his way off to go and fetch you a new weapon. Anything else you'd like to do here, Reverie, now that you've made friends with Kojata's younger brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna go approach the Winter Eladrin. I didn't know anyone from Winter was here. Besides Kessler's.
You make your way over to the Winter Eladrin, and she will observe you as you approach, but makes no kind of move to greet or even to acknowledge presence other than looking at you.
I will kind of crouch. Actually, I'll get in the water next to them.
Now that you've entered the water, the hour timer will start for you.
I've seen that look in your eye before.
And what look would that be?
Like you're piecing things together.
I'm going to have her make a check. I would help if it went into the bloody dice tray. Autumn fairy, no visible wings. Apparently used to seeing this expression. You know Kesselis.
Kesselis is my student, yes.
Is Kesselis alive?
Very much so.
Okay.
By any chance, are you related to Kesselis?
No. Kesselis has no relatives, at least not by the standards that you acknowledge. Most Winter Eladrin don't acknowledge any forms of relative in the way that you do.
I see. And were you students together?
Absolutely not. Kesselis is far below my caliber.
I think Kesselis is a very fine student.
Fine by your standards. Maybe. She will then put her hand up and go, I mean no offence, simply stating the fact that when it comes to knowledge of the arcane, Winter holds a much higher caliber and standard compared to the other seasons. Many of us believe that Kesselis leaving has put an incredibly large dent in his studies. Reintroduction back into our society could be quite difficult for him. Some of us believe that he made a poor choice.
And you don't think Kesselis getting an up-close study of various different arcane natures is better than attending the books?
I believe that for somebody so early in their studies as Kesselies, leaving a formal structure of his studies could be quite damaging to his ability in the future. As you would say in a much less comparative method, Kesselies has chosen to fly before he has learned how to run.
I see. Well, I suppose that will be a difference of opinion on this one, as I believe only so much can be learned in theory without practice.
That is an interesting way to look at it. And you yourself, which form of wizardry do you practice?
Not necessarily wizardry, but I do have possession of magic.
Magic through the bloodline then, of sorceress origins.
No.
Magic gained through an occult or divine pact?
Close.
So magic that was gained rather than studied.
Yes, I suppose. Although I did have magic before I met them. So I would say an expansion of my magical capability based off of friendship, I suppose.
Friendship magic. And has Kesselies too learned this forgotten school of friendship magic?
Cassilis has learned quite a bit, I would say.
When last I saw him, he could barely create passable working constructions. I will be excited to see how far he has progressed.
Wonderful. I'm sure after we fix the rest of Autumn, he would be more than happy to show you.
I will look forward to seeing his capabilities then.
Now, what were you piecing together over here? I've seen that look before.
The likelihood of everybody's survival.
And what do you think your probability chances have gone to?
My chances are incredibly high. I do not think the likelihood for anybody else in here is incredibly high.
And if I told you that we've found a possible cure, and I'm here resting to go out and collect the ingredients for such a feat?
I would be very interested in seeing the chances of it working. It would certainly make me reevaluate some opinions and decisions I've already made.
I see. What's your name?
Erelaya.
Neralion. I'm Reverie.
I'm aware.
Does Aralia look like one of the kids that we saved from the hag place, or no?
No, they do not. Ereliah has an air of an Eladrin who's much older.
Hmm. Okay. And what brought you to Autumn, Ereliah?
I'm conducting research.
On anything in particular, or?
The compatibility of winter and the other seasons.
I see.
Summer has shown its hand. Winter is deciding how to play theirs. As the newly elected Archmage of Winter and currently standing in its reorganisation of how it will be progressing, we are deciding if involving ourselves in this dispute is something we wish to do.
I see.
I was invited here. I thought this to be a suitable place to meet with the other leaders. And since what has happened, I'm now stuck here. For the time being. I'm currently trying to figure out a way that I can get out of this place.
Very interesting. Well, could I give you, I suppose, practical advice while you conduct your research?
I'm sure you can try.
Should the information be known? I'm sure everyone already knows that Magda was from Winter.
What's your passive insight?
17.
A noticeable twitch in her jaw when you say the name Magda.
I'll cock my head.
She doesn't reference it. She doesn't like make any spoken word on it. She just, there's a very noticeable reaction to the name Magda.
His alliance with Summer was quite surprising, considering they had different goals.
I don't imagine that his alliance with them was intended to last long.
Oh, do you want my honest opinion? I believe Magda was using Summer.
I believe that to be an astute observation.
I felt like it was quite the obvious observation, honestly. He wanted an undead army, and Summer was intending to kill everything.
What better way to gain an army of the undead than for everything to be killed and made easier to raise?
Precisely. I don't believe many people are aware of Magda and the Archmage of Winter's educational friendship.
We were not. We have been made aware. That is why there is a new Archmage.
A new one?
Yes. As I said only moments ago, I have been made the new Archmage.
And what happened to the old one? I don't. My student doesn't necessarily fill me in on how punishments go in different things, and I haven't quite experienced it.
Oh, well, it's very simple actually. He was tried when it was deemed that his actions allowed Magda to take the steps that he took to bring about this pervasive school of magic into existence here. When he was found guilty of his crimes, he was stripped of his title. A new Archmage was elected. And once I was elected, I executed him.
Interesting. And, in my personal opinion, a smart choice.
Your personal opinion is not relevant, but still correct.
The issue of summer and its alliances. Perhaps you can help me. You're the Archmage, so your intelligence is superior to many. I would say even within the air of winter. I have a hard time thinking the Alliance is simply left at Summer and Magda. Considering I saw the Archmage at the Twilight Lord's party, he seemed to have an alliance with Summer. Magda's and the previous Archmage, his friendship swayed things in certain ways. I find it personally difficult to believe it only stops there. And it doesn't expand to tags or anything other that is particularly nefarious.
You're confused as to why multiple nefarious beings could operate together.
I am not very good, I find, at putting the pieces together like the people around me. But I am very good at reading people. And I have a hard time thinking the wheel simply stops with a couple. And I would like to hear your ideas on the probabilities that it does.
I find it quite easy to believe that nefarious beings who wish nothing more than the corruption of this world could find a way to work together. Which is what I believe has happened here. Magda wished for something. He knew the way to get it. And so he did it. Sometimes the simplest and most obvious answer is the correct one.
Thank you.
You should make Kesslis aware that soon he could be called home.
I will inform him.
Should he be called home, he will not be able to leave again.
I will keep that in mind. But do please keep in mind that I am very fond of Kesselys. While family may not be seen the same in winter as it is in the other lands, I do consider him my family.
Your fondness is noted, but in a similar scope as your opinion is not entirely relevant.
Could I also note, for the record, despite the issue currently happening in autumn, I've personally found it important that the seasons, the rest of us, stand united. At least against this, at least against summer.
Erelia is going to stand up, seemingly completely uncaring about the fact that she's just stood up out of a bath and is not remotely covered. She doesn't pass any comment on what you've just said, but she does give you a very small smile before walking over to her belongings and says, "It has been interesting to speak with you."
You as well. Congratulations on becoming Archmage, by the way.
She nods curtly. And then she's going to make her way out of the springs, covering herself with a robe that she's brought with her. Leaving you to ponder what exactly will come from this information. Those conversations went on a little bit longer than I thought, so what I'm going to choose to do here, guys, is instead of rushing through everything else, I'm going to end us there without a cutscene, because I believe that the Arya and Sheila stuff in the Forge is going to be quite important, and I don't want to just pile through it in the next 10-15 minutes for the sake of keeping on a time scale. I'd rather we ended a little bit earlier than had been planned and give time for the next stuff. So we will wrap our session there, and I will not give a cutscene today, guys. Okay, so Reverie, you are left with the information that Winter is looking at their options on how to confront the ongoing situation with the current revelations of Summer's intentions for war. To remember, Arya and Sheila, you guys are on your way to this. Or, well, I know Arya is Sheila. Are you going with her? I suppose I should clarify that one, because I have written here that you two are together. But I guess I would clarify if you are going there together.
Yeah, I feel like we have the two people in a group situation going.
It doesn't have to carry on. It doesn't have to carry on like that. You can do other things.
I think from knowing what happens when we separate.
Yeah, that shit happens when we're
less of a want to go and more of a if I don't, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you two will be going into that. We're going to start with you guys next session, okay? So straight into it next session, we are going to you guys. A brief heads up for next session, depending on how things go. Possible combat going into next session.
Okay, noted.
If not combat, possible puzzle to be solved.
We like puzzles.
So be prepared for it. And as usual, because of the choices available to the party, possibility for undead, possibility for descriptions of plague and all that jazz, and possibility for blood, guts, gore. The usual things that happen when you guys discover enemies to fight. And with Kernan and Elion having by far the easiest job of standing looking at a portal until somebody comes and tells them, guys, we're going to go kill stuff. I feel like leaving Reverie with that is a nice wee cliffhanger as to what's coming next. So thank you very much to everybody that came to see us. As it's been dropped into the chat a few times, I'm going to do it one more time to our lovely patron of chaos. If you wouldn't mind dropping it one last time into the TikTok, I'd be very, very appreciative of that. We do have a Dragon Age TTRPG campaign that's going to be starting on this channel very, very soon. If you would like to take part, please do go and check out that little linky pops that is there. It's a very, very fun TTRPG to play. Very simple for those who are new to TTRPG games. You don't need to buy any big fancy dice sets. You just need 3d6. That's it. You can do everything in that game with 3d6. A warning to it though, I will only be accepting people who are 18 plus. Because this is a dark fantasy game, it does feature a lot of dark and heavy themes. Please be aware of that before you apply. But I am going to be looking for players for at least another month. So do go and check that out if you want to. Another heads up to my players who are currently playing in campaigns with me. Usually I have the rule of new players will take precedence. I do not have that rule with this campaign because it is going to be a new system. So even if you're in a campaign with me, please apply if you would like to play in it. Other than that, I don't think I have anything. Go and check out all of our social medias at World Tree Quest. We have TikTok, we have Twitter, we have everything. Okay, there's the World Tree Quest is somewhere everywhere, right? Most notably, please do go and check out our TikTok. We are looking to get as many follows as we can there. I'm going to start posting videos there very soon relating to the campaigns and such. Our lovely and amazing patron of chaos is gathering clips and such for us, so pretty soon they're going to be coming to that TikTok, so keep your eyes peeled on that. Other than that, you can check out my stuff at Son of Asgard on TikTok. I don't really do much. I just posted a video today. I'm going to start trying to post at least one video per day. It's probably just going to be hot takes about D&D and other TTRPGs. If you see any of my other social medias, no you didn't, that's not for you, please don't. So I'm going to pass over to my players right now. Liz is currently eating, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass. Harry, anything that you'd like to comment on from your AI perch?
Only that you're making me feel things, and that's really rude because I didn't realise you were programming it in this week. But I'm now sad and feel loved. So you either need to like be nice to me or remove it because I'm getting very mixed signals.
Tell you what, I promise next session I'll have Kernan boot you square in the balls.
Oh damn!
Dope.
Smashing. But nothing for you? No, nothing you want to plug at all?
No, I do not exist outside of this 4-hour time slot. I literally disappear into mist.
into a fine mist. Fantastic.
Thanks.
Thanks. He turns into a spritz. Thanks very much, Harry. What about yourself, Ash? Is there anything that you would like to plug at all?
Absolutely nothing. I'm only exclusively here at the minute and currently dying the rest of the day boxing, but I'll tell more about that later.
Oh, we need to hear a wee bit of an update on that. Fantastic. Thanks very much, Ash. What about yourself, Khadija? Anything that you'd like to plug at all? Anything?
As far as D&D stuff goes, I too am exclusively here at World Tree Quest, but if you want to see me in other stuff or hear my words anywhere else, you can find me at Khadija Al-Kubra on most social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Archive of Our Own. If you like fan fiction, I write it. It's good shit. But mostly you find me on TikTok, where I'm best known as the Book Dragon of the Bookworm Archive. If you like wholesome, cozy, fantasy, tavern core content, as well as having really good book recommendations shoved down your throat, I'm the gal you go to. Currently, I'm in a bit of a dry spell with the content making because I'm trying to work on writing and publishing my own works. So fingers crossed about that.
Fingers crossed for you. I hope it all goes well, Arya, and thanks very much for letting us know about that. And last and most certainly not least, we're going to go quickly to Patron of Chaos. Liz, anything you'd like to plug at all?
Hi, you can find me as Patron of Chaos on all social medias or patron_of_chaos. Other than that, this is really the only place you will see my face and hear my voice. I'm exclusively the archivist at World Tree.
Fantastic. I love hearing that word exclusively. If that's everything from my players and it's everything from me, well then that's everything from us. Thanks very much for coming to see us today, guys. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on TikTok, Twitch, and the YouTubes. With me today we've had my amazing cast. We've had Just Harry, we've had Ash Howard Music, we've had Patron of Chaos, and we've had Khadij Al Kubra. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe. Just remember, not everybody's really accepting of you randomly approaching them if they're in the middle of having like a spa bath. Autumn Eladrin are a kind of happy bunch, but don't just walk up to random people in the baths. Also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night.